Here in this question, what we're looking at is the topic of changing the subject of a formula. Now, what we've got to remember is that the subject of a formula is what you are calculating based upon that formula. So if we look at what we've got here, it's the formula for the area of a trapezium. The subject of the formula at this point is A, the area, because that is what we're using the formula to calculate. What we're looking to do is change the formula around and make X the subject. So ultimate goal, we do all our work in, final line, we want X equals. We've got to figure out a way to get from here to there. Now, there are two different ways you can do this. There's two different variations of it. Now, both of them start with ultimately the first same step. Swap the sides, so what we want to be the subject is on the left-hand side. So in this case, I'd write it as a half h bracket x plus y equals a. Now, first thing I can do is get rid of the half. If I multiply both sides by 2, I get h bracket x plus y equals 2a. We want to get rid of fractions because we really don't like them when we're working with things like this. Now, at this point here, this is where the big change comes. To start with, in this variation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the h and I'm going to divide both sides by it. So I'm going to do x plus y equals 2a divided by h. Then all I've got to get rid of on this side is the y. Now it's a plus y here, so when I shift it over, I get x equals 2a divided by h, take away y. So there we go. That's us changed x to the subject of the formula. Now, I've said that there's actually another variation of it we can do, and there is. Imagine we start with the exact same first step. So we swap both the sides, and we get a half h bracket x plus y equals a. And we do the exact same first step. We get rid of the half by multiplying both sides by 2. So we get h bracket x plus y equals 2a. Now at this stage, the different step we could take is to multiply out the bracket. So we'd multiply it out and we'd have h times x plus h times y equals 2a. We then shift the hy across here, so it's a plus on this side, it becomes a minus there, and we get h times x equals 2a, take away hy, and then divide through by the h, and we get x is equal to 2a, take away hy, divided by h. So we get this version here. Now looking at the two of them, you're saying to yourself, well, they're two different answers. How can they both be the same? Well, this here is the equivalent of this. All we've done is essentially taken all of this one here and put it over a common denominator of h to combine it into one fraction. This here could simply have been 2a over h, take away y times h, so hy divided by h, combining it, giving me 2a take away hy divided by h. Now both of these would get all of the marks. This one here, you would still get the same amount of marks as this one here. You still get 3. You wouldn't need to do this final step for the left-hand version. Both formula are equivalent. Both formula have x as a subject, and both formula have been shifted round. Either version would be fine. Stick with the one which resonates best with you. Stick with the one that you find the easiest to do. Either version would work.